Hello and welcome to episode 53 of our Timberborn Update 6 Waterbeavers playthrough, Cycle 60, Day 2. Last time we got our nuclear power up and running, and it looks like we are in pretty good shape getting all of this stuff power supplied. I did see at least one comment saying that I needed to check how my power shafts are set up, but right now we're making 7,600 HP. This is making 3,000. It is connected to the network. I understand just by looking at this on the screen, you might not be able to tell exactly how things are routed, but it is in fact working. And since we're already talking about the nuclear power, this has been a hot topic of discussion among a whole lot of you, and I know it's real frustrating to see me go back and forth between, am I going to put it on this section or whatever. And one of the things that was mentioned is that putting this here is going to put it in the way of the bad water. Well, let's dispel a little bit of that real quick. I'm going to lower this floodgate dam so we can see this water come through here. And as this flows through here, you're going to see that it all comes down here pretty handily. There might be a little bit of overflow depending on how this fans out, but I believe we are in the clear for when this is a bad tide coming through here. Everything is going to be okay. Yes, this area is going to be polluted, but the basic nuclear reactor will not be part of any deluge of bad water or anything in that regard. So that's totally fine. Regarding this site over here, I obviously cannot do everything that everybody asks. I do read all of your comments, yes, even those of you who claim that I don't read your comments. I do read them, but I literally cannot do everything that everybody suggests because so many of you are suggesting so many different things. Just please understand that I have to choose some way of doing stuff, and it's nothing personal against anybody who suggests anything. I have to pick one. So the main reason I did not want to build the first one here was because it would be more beneficial to put this over here where we have most of our power going, and to get power connected from this cluster over to here would not be a tremendously annoying process. Remember, we do have power going all the way to this advanced sawmill, and it would be relatively simple for us to build power over this path here, connecting from this general area, or as many of you have suggested, okay, it's a little bit harder to get up past this bit, but we could have this come all the way through here. It's just, I just have to pick some way to do it, and it's not going to be everybody's favorite thing. That's just literally impossible for me to do everything everybody wants. Please understand that I do care about you. I do read your comments. I just have to pick something, and chances are it may not be what you're talking about. That being said, let's come back over here, continue the dirt transfer. I know this is a really stupid way of doing this, but the district crossing setup with Waterbeavers is just, it is what it is. I also saw a comment from someone saying that the last remaining Bachelor's of Agronomy is stuck in a district crossing. So let's check. It's not in this one. It is not in this one. If we come over here, it's not here. And scroll all the way down, it is not here. So it's somewhere, but it's not there. The other possibility that at least a few of you have considered is that it glitched out and just deleted it. I don't know. It's like what the old Tootsie Pop commercial. The world may never know. The beavers may never know. That's just the way it goes. We just have to figure out some other way of getting stuff done. So let's put this in single speed. Come back over here to the ENS. Collapse that so we can actually see. We have no degrees in here. We are in the process, in theory, of making a PhD in nuclear physics, but we are still accumulating paper and pencil sets. Pencil sets, in theory, are being produced. We'll check on that in a minute. Paper is just a very slow process because of the entire, everything. So that's okay. I've got storage here for processors. For 10 of those, we haven't been making those for a while. Clockwork Robotic Controller, where we haven't made any processors at all. I was talking about these guys. Or I was supposed to be talking about these guys. It is a whole lot to keep up with, and I am going to make some mistakes sometimes referring to things, but I appreciate your patience. What is this? Okay, fried rice and methane. We do have now 1600 HP being produced over here. Yes, I did pause all of these, not the mega platforms. I did pause all of these clockwork farms because of that. We weren't making enough power, but now we are. So away we go with one rice farm and one sunflower farm. I think I can actually just go ahead and turn this on as well, because now we're actually making enough power. We've got 1450 in demand, and we've got just shy of 1700 in the production. We are not currently using the assembly line, but we probably should be using it to make some pencil sets, because those are in short supply. So if we turn this on, that's another 300 HP, which means now this is way too much. We do have gravity battery to kind of, you know, offset some of that. But long term, that's not going to be a very sustainable solution. I'm going to turn off one of these rice farms. We're doing okay on food. Obviously, it can be better. We're in the process of trying to get some of that stuff figured out. And, you know, I don't even have to say it. You already know. Some interesting points have been brought up that I probably should have considered a little bit more. We do have a gas extractor now, which costs absolutely nothing but power. So we don't need to be harvesting nenuphars to create methane anymore. So let's come up here and go to our goods consumption. Actually, I want goods production. We want to go down and find methane. I got 4 of these things making methane, and now we need none of them. So let's go around. This fermentation barrel in our main district no longer has to make methane. So let's hit pause. This fermentation barrel over here in the downriver district no longer has to make methane. It's still making it right now, so I'm going to let this continue doing that, but we will shut this off. This one, also in the downriver district, does not need to be making methane, and it's not actively, so I will pause it. I'm not going to delete these yet. I'm just going to pause them. And then, of course, we have our gas extractor. And now that we finally have a gas tank over here with, you know, a fair amount of methane, I think it's time for us to build some additional gas storage in these other districts that are using it. So in this district, the methane goes into a couple different things. I should have actually kept this up for consumption. All the way down to methane, which is... Come on. Come on. There we go. We have this factory in the main district. We have the high temperature foundry currently trying to make steel saw blades. It is full of methane. It is 1,500, so that is not an issue. The balloons, scouting balloons, here and then the Folktales trade balloon do consume methane. Those are both in the downriver district, so it's fine for us to import methane into here. And then this one is over here with polar beavers. This one is supposed to be trading with the jungle beavers. We are waiting on sky exploration points that we do not have in this district. So how we fix that is... there's this district crossing I hadn't considered. Okay, well, there's not a degree in there, and there's definitely not a degree in there. So, because we have... Okay, well, this is actually kind of a roundabout way of doing this. But we do have methane right here, so it makes sense for us to just import it into this other district. Now let's go and find... It is already forced to import. And do we have any in this? We do. We have 5. But that could be easily helped by having a storage for methane over here, especially if we're going to be doing some more stuff with balloons, which we will be. You know, long term, I do have the goal of doing airships because, well, airships are basically just free money. Not literally money, but they use hydrogen. They don't use methane, so we will still need some sort of a storage for that, which is, of course, the gas tank. So we might as well just go ahead and build something to store gas. And we have some places over here that previously would have been pretty inaccessible, but now that we have the power of dynamite, we can start creating some additional space. And I know there's several of you who are very frustrated with this map in particular and how we haven't been able to have space for things. We got dynamite, and as long as I can make it, I'm going to use it. I'm just going to blast out more space for us to have additional balloon trader landing pads because we need to be trading for more stuff. And we can't wait forever. So for now, I've got this area up here that is 5 wide, and I think it's going to make sense for us to just start putting in some balloon trader landing pads. I'm not going to force them to have something else on top of a thing for everything. But I can put in a platform here and a platform here. I can take this lumberjack flag out, and then I can utilize this space to continually create additional stuff here. So let's just pop this all the way down. This has to be attached there. This has to be attached there, and then we will have storage available. Now, we had an issue last time where we didn't have enough balloons doing enough different trades. That's why the Jungle Beavers balloon has not yet been built. Jungle Beavers, if you do not remember, are how we acquire insect larvae, which we need for the giant fireflies. And eventually we want to be getting stuff like these pineapples. And foreign food is another thing we can get for easy well-being. Well, easy, quote-unquote. It just makes sense for us to have a whole bunch of these balloon trader landing pads, and we're going to want to take advantage of as much of that as we can. Now, polar beavers, if we give them nuclear fuel, will give us human relics, but we don't need to worry about that because we can make our own. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But we should spend a little bit of time looking at these and seeing if there's anything that would just enormously benefit us by trading to other beavers. And as things stand now, I don't think it's worth sending, say, for example, fried rice to get solar cells in return, although those are very useful. It's not a tremendous need right now because we already have the ability to make nuclear power, especially if we get everything connected. So I don't think we need to worry about those guys, at least not right now. We still struggle a lot to get berries, and 2.5 days to get 50 berries, that's really not a lot for the amount of time spent, but everything matters. Every little bit matters, and it's only 30 bits of saltpeter to get 50 berries. Probably worth doing at some point. So, keep that in mind there. Folktales trading will give us the stuff like the exotic seeds for another tree nursery. If we want to make one, we probably will at some point. But I think the most compelling trade for where we are right now remains the jungle beavers getting the stuff like the pineapples and then insect larvae. And who's got the seashells? Oh, it's the island beavers. Okay. That's a good one, but we have to have a lot of chestnut beer, and we aren't quite making enough volume of that at this exact moment in time. So, I do have this set up for jungle beavers. This is polar beavers for getting the frozen human meat. I think it's worth putting a second jungle beavers one just so we can start getting pineapples. So I will put that there. I will set this to be the pineapple recipe, and the pineapples require methane, which we will soon have in this area, and the metal fasteners, which we can now make a whole lot faster because we have assembly lines. So the metal fasteners, I never remember what goes where, so now I have to check. Please bear with me. I do appreciate it. It's not in a pile. It goes in a warehouse. All right. So small warehouse right here. Just set that for that, and then I will have another small warehouse right here that I can set for the pineapples, or whatever you want to call them in your language. And that will be really, really helpful. This is ready to explode. B for boom. And then I can put in, right here, a gas tank connected directly to this string of stuff here. And the district crossing being right here, this is kind of circuitous to get around this way. But let's not forget, we have the power of dynamite. And we can just blast our way through here, put in another path, and that'll connect right there, be a more direct route, and then this being here will be closest to these two balloons, and it's not that far from this. Everything is going to be okay. So, that helps with that. I also, you know what, I don't remember this being a thing. Storing endothermic essence in a gas tank. That's actually pretty good. We're not going to do that right now, though, because we do have another thing to take care of, which is the elevator to the abyss, doing ruins exploration that we cannot, because we don't have glowing fluid. We don't have glowing fluid because we don't have fireflies making stuff. We don't have fireflies making stuff because we don't have insect larvae, and we don't have insect larvae because we don't have sky exploration points going. You get the idea. But the other thing in question here was, why do we not have human relics? Which is not what this building does. I don't know why it clicked on that one. Factory operating team. requires human relics, which we're not producing. I thought, mistakenly, when I was reading the comments of people saying stuff I needed to fix, that I had built a second elevator operating team, or whatever the thing's called. That's not the case. So now we're going to have to turn this back on for a little bit, which, surprise, surprise, requires glowing fluid. But, I have 17 of that stored in here. And as soon as I get some tools, then I can turn that 17 glowing fluid into approximately, well, it's not going to be approximately, it's going to be exactly 15 human relics, because I can make 3 sets of whatever. So 15 human relics is going to get us, when I have that taken care of, another halfway between the deficit of human relics on the factory operating team that's going to allow us to get this building constructed. And then we can make all this stuff. You know, I've said this a billion times, you're probably sick of it, but everything in this mod requires everything else to actually be working, and I've obviously not demonstrated competency in that regard. All of that being said, we're working slowly on getting things fixed, and I appreciate your patience. Food is a tremendous problem at this point, and we need to figure out why we aren't making enough braised cabbage. I think it's probably because we aren't making enough mushrooms. And part of that is because we haven't added any more mushroom growers in a very long time. And part of the reason for that is because I have not felt like I have a good enough space with which to grow mushrooms. We can fix that. We can try to fix it at least. This GMO growing lab is supposed to be making brambles. We do not have glowing fluid to supply it. Or this one. Or, well, this one's making mushrooms with mushroom juice, which I don't have enough mushroom juice to make mushrooms with. If I come over here, I don't have enough mushrooms to make mushroom juice. And I'm not going to have enough mushrooms to make mushroom juice until I grow more mushrooms, which I'm currently not doing with the thing that requires mushroom juice, so I have to do it here. All of these things are waiting on logs. We don't have a lot of logs in this main district, and they're also being used with the hydroponic farms. But we don't have any... Okay, I've got one in storage there. I can't remember. I do have... Yes. I do have this large industrial pile that's supposed to have logs. If we just prioritize this and make sure the haulers actually deliver stuff, then we're going to have logs closer to all of these mushroom growers. We can also help things along by just building more mushroom growers, which I know is a... Well, that's such an easy solution. Why haven't you done it yet? Well, you know how this goes. You know how this goes. I can't just do like everything all at one time. It takes baby steps. But since we can now make methane, we don't need to have all of these things harvested, pulled up out of the ground. We just need to get lotuses. Lotuses can go for food and other things. And this area up here that we spent so much time developing no longer needs to be just harvesting nenuphars for the purpose of making methane. Instead, it can harvest those for food, which if we click on this district, we really don't have very much food at all. So I'm going to leave this farmhouse for now, just gathering these for food purposes because they can eat those. I know there's, not the most efficient food, not the most popular food, but whatever, but it is a crop that we are currently growing that the beavers can eat, and that is basically all that matters at this point in time. They'll take care of that, just as they have. Just want to make sure we're keeping touch on that. These mechanical drills have run out of drill bits. Why have they run out of drill bits? I'll give you 3 guesses. If you guessed the factory is not making drill bits, you win a prize. The prize is absolutely nothing, but I think now I can take this off of laboratory glassware because I forgot I'd left it on there, and this can make drill bits with methane, scrap metal, and sunflower oil. We don't have a ton of sunflower oil because we haven't had a whole lot of stuff making that hasn't already just been shoving it into something else. If we draw demand over here, I think we're going to be okay, but we will need to have another storage for sunflower oil. Right now, I have 690 storage. They have stuff all over the place. But right over here by these factories, there is not a storage for sunflower oil. And it doesn't have to be a big tank. It just has to exist. So I need to find a place I can put one of those. And it probably is going to make the most sense just to put it right here. I'll give it a plank tank so it has a slightly higher capacity. And that should help whenever they get around to building it, and things will be okay. Now, other stuff of concern over here. We don't have any more of the brambles here because we eradicated all of them. So that means we don't need to have a wood felling planification lodge. So yeet, get that thing out of here. And that also means I can start blasting this down to have more farmland and more building space. Just as soon as we have explosives. There's a reason I'd left all of this up here. But I've got dirt here that needs to be popped over to the other district. So let's do that real quick. Get that set to empty. Remember, we are still trying to put more dirt in here so we can grow rice. Looks like we've gotten 2 of these complete since the last time I checked. So that'll go right there. Just leave that alone as it is. And I need to find a place to put mushrooms. I know, oh, just build it right here. Well, I'm trying to put more of these clockwork hydroponic farms in at some point. We will just have to wait to get there. All right, what is the deal with the sky exploration points? This is set, I mean, it's set to import. It better be, or else I'm going to be real irritated with myself. Yeah, it's set to force import. I don't know why we don't have it over here, because we have it over in this other district. And I didn't think it was going to be because this district and this district are not directly connected. I did not think that was going to be a problem. So then maybe I have to force import it into this district, which it is not. Yeah, I'm going to have to force import it into here and then give them a storage for it on this side. Which, I know. I just have to have somewhere to put it. So that will go there. They'll have some place to put it in this district, and then it can be force imported all the way over to this side of the map. This is waiting on metal fasteners, planks, pine resin, and logs. Yeah, see, logs are a big problem. And that's part of the reason why... Oh yeah, glowing fluid, by the way. Can't finish the mega platform until we have more of that. That's one of the reasons why I really, really wanted to have these things ready to go. Because it's going to allow me to start getting trees out of this. Which is going to help us out so much. Because, again, every growing area in this map is incredibly limited in the setup and blah, 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 blah. Shut up about complaining about the map already. I get it. But this is really, really going to help us out if we can build it. If we can build it. And as far as I know, I don't think I can have these directly abutting each other, sharing the same rings for the mega platforms. I'm kind of afraid to find out, but I'll do it for you guys. Let's do giant pillars. We have to have 5 space in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And of course, that's what that is. All right. Well, it doesn't matter because this is just for my own edification. No way. That actually... Okay, I can't have them on the same level. Makes sense. But I can still use... I can still use the same thing as long as they don't directly abut each other. Okay, good to know. Before we move on, how tall is the Everblossom farm? Oh, good, it's taller. Oh, yes. Oh, that is such a relief. That is such a relief, friends. I just have to be able to get power over to this. I can stick this right here. See if I flip it. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'll just keep it the same level. But that's 1,500 science to get that. I don't have to have a mega platform to actually construct this. So this will be a great thing to put on the bottom. Every other resource we should be pretty good with, as far as I can tell. So I have 2,000 science. I'm going to do it. Just stick that right there. I'm not going to build this giant pillar yet because there is a thing in the way that has an ENS architectural blah, 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 whatever. So now I just need to get, first of all, I can unpause. It's not that big of a deal anymore. I have to get power over here. And this giant storage for sunflower seeds, since it is empty, is going to get yeeted, deleted, and I am going to instead make this just so much of an easier process. And I'm going to put in these power shafts over here, bring this across, and just do one of these numbers. I'm not going to try to squeeze in a whole bunch of storage under here. That's a huge pain in the butt and probably not, strictly speaking, necessary at this point in time. So what is going to happen here, upward T intersection. We'll get this going. I'm going to leave this as a T just in case I want to have power go over here. And that will have power go in there and come up this way whenever we start doing our other stuff. Then I just have to have a way to get in, which will be path here. And here, I know this will get moved eventually. But having an Everblossom farm is just, it's going to make things so much easier. So much easier. And I'm going to put, because this requires crude saw blades, I'm going to find out real quick that I probably picked the wrong type of storage for it. Yep, that is exactly what happened. Just to make things slightly less horrible, a pit pile that can hold 44 of them, set to obtain. And that should get us pretty close to where we want to be. And yes, the other pillar will have to go here. I don't know if they can actually reach this or not. I don't think so. Well, that's a problem we'll get to when we get to it. For now, this will be fine, and then because of the height of this again, I can just have the platform linked to this. I'm so glad that works. This would have been absolutely horrible without that. Now, how are we looking here? Okay, still no sky exploration. Did we finish building this? We did. This is set to force import. I do have 30 of them here. I guess we just have to wait for beavers working in here, which we do not have enough, I guess. Sure, why not? Let's just bring this up to 10. We're going to need them eventually anyway. Just keep things supplied. It should even out. I'm also thinking, once I have enough beavers, that is, I'm thinking of doing stacking these district crossings just so we can have some more throughput. Make it just a tiny, tiny bit easier. Food's up to 3,300. Hopefully, that is a sign of improving things and not just a fluke. You can never really be sure these days. This is waiting on... Okay, they still haven't gotten human relics. Oh no, there's 5 in here, and they're 20% of the way to the next 5. Or the last 5, rather. So, those human relics have gone somewhere, haven't they? Methane's still being produced. Runes exploration being consumed to get nuclear waste. We have power coming from nuclear waste. We've got... Okay. Oh, good. They just started production on the next PhD in nuclear physics. Excellent, excellent, excellent news. This, of course, is going to take a while. But once that's done, we can probably start putting some other stuff in other locations. And I know people are going to argue about which one goes where, so at this point I'm just going to have to figure something out, and that's just going to be the way it is. Waiting on logs and planks. Do I even have plank storage in this district? This is why I don't like districts, I know. Stop complaining about the districts, I hear you. There is no plank storage in here. Alright, well, not really reasonable for me to be that upset about it then, is there? If I have not made an actual... measurable improvement to the situation. I suppose because this is here, it will just have to go here, and that's how it is. So now that we've kind of, I'm not going to say accomplished all this, we've identified a lot of problems, we put steps in motion to try and solve them, we do still have to tackle the issue of getting power across the map. And in theory, like I was saying, it's not that far of a distance. And the pathing on this is going to be ugly. I'm sure you might not like it, but sometimes with the Waterbeavers especially, you just got to do the stuff that's really miserable. So, I have 228 scaffoldings. I also could make these crappy platforms, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal for us to just go over the path here, across this, and then connect to... okay, this isn't power, that just rotates. Probably right about here. So let's set that in motion. We can always make it better later if we really feel inclined. But this just has to, it just has to be done. So that can come up here. And because this is all poison land in here, I don't want to send beavers down in here to do it. to move around, whatever, so on and so forth. So I think what's going to have to happen is I'm going to need to build just around like this. And we're going to want to have this here anyway when we eventually do put power stuff on this section. Just give them a little bit of a highway, so to speak, to get these things connected here. This slope is pretty much unnecessary at this point in terms of getting beavers around, but we do need to actually be able to access all of these areas, ideally from both sides. So that's what we're going to do. Just going to have this kind of hug the coastline here, figure out what we're going to do, and lay out the rest of these. And then at the very, very end, I will replace this straight power shaft with a upward T-intersection thing, and that'll be that. But before things get too crazy... Don't tell me that's not going to fit there. Don't tell me that's not going to fit there. It's not going to fit there. Oh. Oh, water beavers, what would I do without you? Probably have substantially better mental health. Oh, I don't want to get rid of the grapes here. Can I... Oh, that's right, there's no overhangs in this, because this is water beavers. Skewer platform on the... off of the building. You know, it seems like this might actually work here. Is that going to... Okay, the overhang platform I really don't want to use, because that thing's weird. Alright, well, I think for the benefit this is going to give us, it's worth getting rid of 2 grape plants, because we're going to be able to do a whole lot more with power once we have everything situated. Oh, I know this is bad. I'm gonna have to take out 3 of those just to have everything else connected. And I don't expect this to be a very fast process, for the record, getting all of these connected. It's more about giving the beavers something to do so that they can get other stuff done. So all of this here, they're going to be able to build until maybe right about here. They're going to be able to build all of this without having to actually walk on it. And then they can walk in from here and do the rest of this. Hopefully without, you know, all sorts of nonsense happening. So we're going to leave that alone for the time being. Let them work on it. And then come back and check. Now, I see jungle beaver trading occurring. We are 20% of the way to having our next insect larvae. And of course, this firefly is waiting on that. Over here, progress is continuing, looking pretty good. No big complaints there. This is progressing nicely as well. We're just waiting on dirt and water. And you definitely want to do this during a wet season because it takes 1,000 water. Once we have this ready to go, folks, we're going to be in such better shape. It's not even going to be funny. It's going to be just tremendous. This is waiting on glowing fluid. We already established that. All right. We've tackled a whole bunch of problems here. We are 34 minutes into the episode on OBS, at least. I'm sure it's going to be a couple minutes shorter because of the loading times. Let me just take a look at my notes. I know the power grid was a really, really, really big thing for us to take care of, and it's not the perfect solution, but it is a solution. We talked about human relics in the abyss. We saw why that wasn't happening. Did not find the Bachelors of Agronomy, so I can just assume that the game has glitched that out. That was mentioned as a possibility. We looked at power connections. We looked at... oh, I know something we didn't do. Chestnut trees in this district. There's one marked for cutting. Now it is not marked for cutting. And we can continue expanding this area once we have more explosives, so we can get more chestnuts, because once we have more chestnuts, we can make more chestnut beer. This is glowing fluid. That's not chestnut beer. Strong alcohol. Yeah, see, we're not making chestnut beer quickly enough. It's 2 days to make 60. These are all making chestnut beer. They are working. We probably could put another couple of those in. So we will, I guess, just have to figure out somewhere to stick those. Not really the best setup here, but we'll work on it. Gas tank is one of many construction projects that has not yet been finished. Oh, this lumberjack flag doesn't need to be here. Goodbye. Lumberjack flag I will leave paused because that is paused. And, okay, I can't expect them to have made much progress here, but I do need to get them in here to take these grapes out. And we need to do more sequoias for sure once we actually start ripping through these. That's one of those things that would be really nice if I had just a little bit more space here. You know, I could put one more sequoia here if I didn't have this path in this exact spot. What is this anyway? Liquid storage house. It's also a dam. Okay, that's probably pretty important to have there. I am going to have this path here unless I came around the other side. You know what? It's not worth trying to reconfigure all this. We'll get it figured out. It's not going to be that big of a deal. As I have mentioned and mentioned and mentioned again, Waterbeavers is just, you know, wrestling with yourself and with nature and with the game and with your expectations of sanity just to get something accomplished. I feel like for the most part we've done a decently good job of that. You know, there's always opportunities for learning and figuring other stuff out, but I don't feel bad about what we've accomplished. I do think I would like to expand our grape area a little bit here. And I'm pretty sure if I just demolish this one, nothing bad is going to happen. So that'll be another thing they have to take care of. Obviously, we need berries. We're working on all that. You know, it's everything hinges on everything, and then as soon as something slightly bad happens, everything grinds to a screeching halt. But we're fixing it. That's what matters. What's the saying? Fall 7 times, get up 8. Okay, good. We're almost done here, ready to get some more logs. That's going to help tremendously. What are these two making here? Ah, rice balls. Okay, that's fine. We got a lot of sawdust. We're not going to need these guys making screw press axles for very long because this building, the factory operating team, is going to be able to make them just so fast. But we have to have human relics, and of course we have to have glowing fluid. We've been through this. We have done this many, many, many times. So, main district, we have 34 vacancies and only 8 incapacitated beavers. You know what? That's pretty good. We've had a bad time for a while with the incapacitated beavers, and I think finally putting the clinic on the frost balm recipe has really helped. Wow, we have 44. That's good. That's keeping them from being super burned all the time. Well, it's not keeping them from being burned. It's just healing that when that does happen. And, oh, I love watching this stupid thing go off. We already talked about that. Yeah, they haven't made any progress on this. I'm sure they're busy. Probably just putting dirt in over here. No, that's deprioritized. Okay. That shouldn't be an issue. I always run into this problem of I don't know what my builders are doing. So let's just click. Okay, you were carrying scaffolding, so that sounds like they're working on this. I guess I should not be... Oh, good. They actually did build scaffolding. I just didn't see it because it had the construction site on top of it. Okay. Good. How are we looking here? 19% on the next PhD in nuclear physics. All right. Food is at 3,100. We already talked about why that's not stellar. I'm just looking for a good place to do mushroom growers. Almost said good place to do mushrooms. You know how that would have gone. Don't do drugs, kids. Just there's not a lot of great spots here. I could put one on top of this. Yes, I know I got rid of the storage, the warehouse for the sunflower seeds. I don't think it really matters because these are getting plucked out of here as fast as humanly possible. Or as fast as beaverly possible, if you want to be technical about it. This is not a great place for mushroom growing. But it is a great place for mushroom growing just because we need a place for mushroom growing. That will help us out so much having that there. These log gnawing stations, ideally, because of our, our sawdust output, we're probably not going to need these. And I'm also not going to lose any sleep over deleting these that are paused. I'm going to keep one here. But this space, if I... okay, that just made a screw press axle. I'm gonna... I know. I'm gonna get rid of it because I have the opportunity to slightly reconfigure how this is set up. I can put this here. I can put this here. I can leave this space on the side if we want to do storage or something. I just need more mushrooms. That is the long and short of it. This dynamite can go here. I can move this over a tiny bit more. And then I can put another mushroom grower right here. We can straighten this path out. Get rid of this. Then I can put, you guessed it, another mushroom grower right here. But before I do that, I think I can take advantage of how this is laid out in whatever cursed manner it may be and just say, you know what? It's mushroom time. 5 more mushroom growers set to the slow recipe will absolutely not hurt things. I do need to go ahead and deprioritize the workplace, though. And eventually, when they get around to it, that will help solve a whole lot of stuff. And it looks like power shafts are going in at quite a quick rate. This is about to be too far, so I will have to give them a slight extension with that path there. And I think that should be okay if I just go ahead and do this. We'll obviously have to take that out later. But we're working on it. How are we doing here? 9 nuclear waste. I've got nuclear waste here. That's not a big deal. Yes, very, very good. Very good. I know we need to get the next nuclear reactor very quickly, if we at all possibly can. So before we get too excited here, I know this is going to be poisoned, and it's going to be a whole thing trying to keep this operating. But eventually, I am planning on having basic nuclear reactors on both of these, which is going to mean no bad water coming from this area, which is going to mean no water wheels generating power, but this is going to be another 6,000 HP. I think that's how much it produces. Yes, another 6,000. These all combined are only making 1,750. So that's a fair trade-off. And then because this one is isolated, this is the one we could put our bad water harvesting stuff on. That's just the way that makes the most sense to me. Feel free to disagree. That is always allowed. Never going to tell you you're wrong for saying that I'm wrong. That's not a really good way to go through life anyway. But in the process of doing this, it's going to be a mess. And it's going to take a while. But putting these two in here is going to just eventually, when it all happens, make this substantially easier. In order to do that, we will need to have a power thing coming out from the eventual construction site. So if we make a commitment right now as to how this is going to be accessed, probably the easiest way to do it is going to be to have this turned around here. And I can go ahead and place this. Even if I don't want them to build it, I can just hit pause. We can put that there. And then we have to figure out how the power is going to connect to the other one. Because we do have all of this scrap metal here. If we manage to get both of these capped, eventually all of the bad water will go away. And that will also make it possible for us to just normally irrigate this without having to have the contamination repelling. And we can use so much more space for farming. It's going to solve a lot of problems. The only slight inconvenience is that we're going to lose our ability to use the large water wheels. Which, considering we're going to get 6,000 HP, again, not going to be a big deal. But we can, at the very least, start off with, before this gets too hard to build in over here, one of those guys right there. They have power outputs or inputs or interchanges, whatever you want to call them, on 3 sides, so it's not going to be a big deal to just have this set up like so. Downward power shaft in like that, and then when we build the rest of this, then this will already be ready to go. We won't have to worry about it, and it's going to be just fine. So all that to say, the rest of this is looking pretty good. I thought I put something there, I guess not. That's good. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, friends. Let's get this maximum priority, just so that's taken care of nice and quickly. There we go. Downward power shaft there, maximum priority. That's going to get this whole thing rotating, even if we can't connect it to quite everything just yet. But we are getting close. We are getting so close. I probably should also maximum priority that, just so we don't have to be waiting on it. Get that prioritized as well. I know, prioritizing everything means you prioritize nothing. We all saw The Incredibles. Syndrome, the snot-nosed kid villain. What side? We still don't have drill bits, huh? Why do we not have... Oh, it's a scrap metal. Why am I out of... Oh, you know what? It's because this is making steel saw blades, which it can't even make because it... Okay. Tell you what we'll do. I know this is not whatever, but if we stop consuming the coal that's in here, then it can go in here, so we can finally make our steel saw blades, and then I can put this back to scrap metal, because we do need to have steel saw blades. I only have 4 of them, and before I build a second high temperature smelter, we're going to need to make sure we have a decent stock. Now, I don't see our glowing fluid increasing at all. Yeah, that's still at 2. Overall's at 3. That's at... Oh, we've got all of our human relics. Okay, cool. That means this one's basically done. 41%. This... Oh, good. We have insect larvae. Good, good, good. I think it's time for us to build the second firefly grooming station. And I know that takes 5 insect larvae to build. So we probably should get a move on that. Getting 3 more of these in about a day and a half. Okay, feeling pretty good about that. This is finished. It's got methane in it. That needs to be set to obtain. Okay, this is ready to get exploded. And then this will improve our pathing all the way through here. Come on, there you go. All right. And this is done. And it is getting us pineapples, and we have pineapples. Exciting stuff. I've got a storage there. And, you know what I can do, because I have the technology, is I can double dynamite this, which means I can put a storage over here that doesn't have to be in the poison. But point being, I'm going to put in a storage for pineapples over here, so that can be imported, so all of the beavers can eat on them. We are only exporting... I guess glowing fluid is important. That, you know what? That needs a storage. That's probably a little bit more important. Where is that? I don't need to live in fear of this anymore. We can just get that taken care of. Yes, you know, I keep... what's the word? Flip-flopping on what I want to do over here. But medium tank for glowing fluid makes just so much sense to have this here. And then I want to have... I guess I don't need a giant warehouse. I'll just, for right now, I'll just make a crappy warehouse for the pineapples. Just so they have somewhere to go. And we'll fix all that stuff later. It's just... I know storage is a big deal. People are constantly saying, you got to put storage everywhere. Look, there's like 300, 400 separate items in this mod. I cannot have storage for everything, everywhere, any place it needs to be, or... That's not how it works. Everything takes space. 3 days until we have a bad tide. I already demonstrated this is not going to be an issue with polluting this. So that should be pretty okay. This is set up here just fine. Let's get that undone. I know this is, again, a dumb way of doing this. It is what it is. B for boom. These are not able to reach here because of not having any access over here. 41 explosives. Probably should start taking some of this land down. I suppose we got access from both sides, so I'll just start with some of this area that is accessible. 3s, and then this is 5 tall, so I'm not going to be able to get away with much. But the quadruple dynamite is the same price as the triple, so we might as well get this all taken care of here. This quadruple here will take us down to this height, and then we can just get the rest of it. And the rest of this can be done from the top. I know we don't have this much dynamite right now. We will at some point when they get it all taken care of. But that will be okay. That I will also quadruple dynamite. Just get this whole thing locked and loaded, ready to go. Let's check and see on our dynamite production, which should be, that's pencil sets. Wait, if I'm making pencil sets in this, I don't need to be making pencil sets in this. That can be dynamite. How are we looking here? Okay, unsurprisingly, you do not have insect larvae. Oh, but this is done, and it's making screw press axles. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, man, I am so happy that this is finally finished. Because guess what we can make in here? That's right, it's drill bits. I don't know why I just whispered that. But we do have enough human relics to make some of this. We are in the process of producing this if I have enough tools. I don't see tools. I do not see tools. So, what I'm going to do, because we can make the metal fasteners over there, I'm going to have this make tools instead. And then the assembly line, I'm going to switch from pencil sets over to metal fasteners. I know we have all sorts of parts absolutely everywhere, so on and so forth. But guess what? We have a clockwork hydroponic everblossom farm, and it is beautiful. And we have mushroom growers that are not staffed, and they are beautiful. Just get those prioritized there. Yes, excellent, 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 excellent. Very good. I had a Yamaha keyboard, got maybe 25 years ago, that had a DJ setting. And it had keys that would say good, very good, and excellent. In that exact way that I just said it, and I don't know why, but it's been part of my random sounds my brain wants me to make for the past 25 years. So, congratulations on knowing a completely unnecessary and very stupid bit of lore about myself. You're welcome. Guess I just have to wait for these guys to get this all built up. I should be able to build... No, I've done a very good job of getting this stuck in here. Mechanics Lodge-wise, if I can make the gears here, I don't need to have so many of these. So that can get removed, which is going to make it possible for them to build most of this in one fell swoop. I just really hope I don't get any beavers stuck, because that is a very annoying and miserable process. And, oh, they didn't finish it? Come on, man. Come on, man. Get it together. Get it figured out. How's our progress on our next nuclear? Was it 63%? They have not started accumulating for the third one, which is probably well and good. I could just make more Bachelors of Agronomy things with all of that once that is taken care of. Methane is looking good, or looking good enough, rather. Okay, that's fine. I need these guys to get to work here. So let's wait and see who comes to finish this. If they're going to come around this side, they are. So I guess they don't want to... what are you sitting here looking at? Go do something else. You're a builder, you're just kind of standing there? Well, you better move or else you're going to be... you're going to be stuck, dude. You're only 24. Come on. Go back where you're supposed to be. You are in the way, and you will regret. You will regret. It's what the advisors in SimCity 2000, when you try to cut funding, you will regret this. It's like, what are you going to do? Yell at me about it? You're like a 40 by 40 pixel image in a game from forever ago. Don't get stuck here. Please don't get stuck here. Oh, it's not going to let him finish it until this guy... Okay. Alright, okay, dude. I'm going to need you to leave because you're currently blocking an active construction site. There you go. Good job. Proud of you. Let's turn this around. They should, again, be able to build this. So I'll tell you what I'll do is I will put this piece in. Because I think that's the last one they're not going to be able to touch from everywhere else. They are probably busy working on other stuff. But this is, you know, this is connected to the whole main power thing. That is one of the main goals you guys have been asking me to do forever. What's this waiting on? More insect larvae. 66% of the way to having more insect larvae. Food is still not great, but it is improving. Slowly. And I do mean slowly. Harvesting these nenuphars for food in this district is probably not going that well. I did pause this, right? Yes. Yeah, I think they're just eating this as soon as it gets pulled up out of the ground. Oh, good. I do have this space available. So now I can plant additional. The bad tide started. I know I automated this. I just fundamentally do not trust when this stuff is when this stuff is all set, ready to go. It's only a 5-day bad tide, so I think we should be okay. Should be okay. What was I doing? I have completely forgotten what I was doing. Okay, what's the library doing? Nothing, because they don't have any kimchi. Okay. You know, see, that's probably we still have cabbages, so I guess that's fine. Oh, I really wish I could remember what I was doing. Oh, hey, this needs to go. Ah, okay, that's why I hadn't done that, because I was going to have very minimal ability to plant anything else. But I think I can get 3 more grapevines in, hopefully. We'll see these guys come over here and do this in a moment, if that is... Yeah, that should be fine. Should be alright. I don't know if I demolish this land here, if this is still going to be poisoned. I think I need to have a little bit more in the way of blocking. But remember, when we build all of our power stuff here, it's not going to be a problem. It's going to be problem solved. Okay, so this is built, which means nobody can silly-billy their way into relevancy. That's going to go that way, that's going to go that way, and then I can also, at the exact same time, put in... why is this confusing me? Okay, I have to get rid of this path, that's why. Make sure I don't delete the platforms that they were sitting on, because that would be very annoying. Okay, that one will go there. I think they can build most of this the next day. And I think I can go ahead and place this here with no problem. Okay, scrap metal. Scrap metal is the problem. This has finished. This needs to be making scrap metal now. And then maybe after all of that, we can finally start making more drill bits once we have all that scrap metal. I do really appreciate your patience with these. I know this is a very frustrating series to watch, but I'm having fun. Green peas. We need to be making more of those. This does not have anything because we're not extracting dirt. Okay. That's fine. How are we looking over here? Yeah, power's rough. This is already empty, but this is going to be connected very, very soon. Let's get this done. We're already rotating all of this. Just come on. Come in here. Place this power shaft. Make us proud. Etc. So on and so forth. This beaver needs to immediately get out of the way. Go somewhere else. Come on. You are blocking construction, even though they haven't started it yet. Someone's going to come down here and actually get this done, and it's not going to be them. And did they plant any? Ah, no, that was poisoned. Oh, they planted here. Okay, good. That's the one I was actually supposed to be looking for. See, this isn't irrigated, so it's not bad that I've got mines here. That's fine. This has killed grapevines. I guess I should have expected that. Even though I have all of this set up, I don't have it set up here. The amount of water we're getting is probably sufficient at this time for me to remove this water pump and instead put levees here so I don't have to worry about as much contamination. I think I can work with that. So that one's going to go away. And then that is going to go there, there, and there. That should at least in the future help keep some of these grapes alive once they get around to it. How's it looking here? Very good. That'll go there. We can do both of those at the same time. They just need to build it, so I will give them a little bit of a help with prioritization. Oh, we're already over the hour mark. Okay, well, we'll have to end this in a little bit here then, won't we? 82%. 82%, folks. And I think they should be able to build this off of this suspension bridge. If I unpause it. Yes. Okay. Well, I'm not going to have this going right now because I don't want all these things sucked up. Although I do have all the treated planks, and I got like 2/3 of the metal blocks. Okay. Well, that can be a thing for next time. Drill bits, we are still waiting on... Oh, sunflower oil. I thought we'd kind of solved that problem. So we do have sunflowers. We're just not producing quite fast enough because I've got mushroom juice to worry about. Are we even making mushroom juice? We are. Okay. I was looking in the wrong spot. So this one is supposed to be making mushrooms. It's prioritized, so we should be having... I don't know, I guess I just need to have more hauling beavers. That's probably a thing that will be eternally a problem if I do not have enough of those, but... I mean, you've seen all the steps we've taken just this episode trying to get all this stuff resolved. Okay. The final piece of power shaft to connect both of these. On this side we have almost 8,000 HP being produced. On this side we have 1650-ish. Yeah, just bring this last bit in here, and then we should be able to make a very, very good amount of power at basically all times, and that is really going to help us out too. Of course, these guys aren't going to do this right now while I'm sitting here zoomed in on it, because that would be way too easy. You know that's illegal with this mod. So I guess I don't need to babysit it. We'll just take a look. LS88, that's not going to finish today. Everything else is looking okay. Looking okay. So we've already got these two levees in place, and I do see that we reclaimed, looks like about 7 spots, and it's only going to get better once these other ones get put in. So that was a very good move. Very good to get for us. You know what? Can I get around this side? I don't know that I can. Yeah, because we have this power shaft here. But I do still want to put levees here. That'll help us, even just a tiny bit. I think. Oh, they can go down here and do that. All right. Did they finally get this connected? Oh, we caught it at just the right time. Look at that. Combined power supply of 9,500. Everything is the same. We should be able to click on this and see. Yeah, 100%. Very good. That's a huge, huge accomplishment. I'm real glad we got that taken care of, because boy, was that a very annoying thing. So this is probably about as good of a spot to stop as any. Again, we've made some very nice progress. I feel pretty satisfied with most of what we've been doing. I do see that this one has started again. Or I guess we're waiting on the iron ore to go somewhere, so it technically isn't running. As soon as this gets drill bits, we'll be good to go. This is supposed to be making more. Waiting on scrap metal. Okay, of course we are. Well, I don't think there's much else. Yes, scrap metal continues to be a problem. So I suppose I should turn these back on. And we can take a look at our coal situation, of which we have none. What are we making here? Come on. Okay, we definitely don't need that right now. Okay, yeah, I'll just have both of these making coal. I know they're not fully staffed. I don't exactly have enough beavers to do that anyway. How do I have homeless beavers? Oh, this district. Okay, I'm going to have to build more housing over here, aren't I? Well, we'll figure it out. Is this still at 96%? Okay. So let's just do our end of episode stuff now, and I'll keep that pulled up so I can switch it over before the end, because I will forget. I'm so glad you watch these videos. I know it's frustrating. I appreciate your patience. I promise you this is so much harder than you can possibly imagine. Unless you've played it, then you understand. But, of course, it is not possible to keep doing all these videos and all the other fun stuff we've been doing on this channel and beyond without the support of the Beard Boosters. Those folks keep the channel sponsor-free in terms of, you know, stuff that's really not related at all to making these videos. I don't have to, you know, plug mattresses or earbuds or whatever. We can just have fun playing the games, and those folks that want to pitch in a little bit to make sure that stuff keeps running smoothly do that and make it possible for us to just be our authentic, fun-loving beaver-playing selves. And other games too, but, you know, well, 6 out of 7 days of the week doing beavers. It's basically Timberborn all the time. But that's fine by me. I'm still having a whole lot of fun with this. And again, I'm so thankful you choose to watch these videos. We're at 99% on the PhD in nuclear physics. We should hit that 100 very, very soon. There it goes. There it goes, folks. So I'm going to swap this back over to bachelor's in agronomy. And now, I guess they just immediately took that PhD in nuclear physics and put it somewhere else. I guess I can unpause this and maybe they'll put it in there. But yeah, that's going to be it. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of yours, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.